They say that it's nothing to fear but fear itself. But man, we're living in some very turbulent times. I know that the day and age that we are living in right now, every single day, there is something that is coming up to just get your anxiety pumping. Should you fear the fear? Should you walk in fear? I mean, you should walk in faith. You should have belief that the God that you believe in is going to make everything all right. But is that enough for you when you are being bombarded by information that is coming from all different directions? It's coming in social media. It's coming in the news. It's coming in just casual conversations. You see it every single where that you go, that it is fear mongering. It wants us, all of us, to be afraid. Should you? Well, what should you focus on if you are not focusing on the fear? Well, I think that's a good topic for us to talk about. So come on, cousins, and let's pod about it.
In a world fraught with confusion, one man will break his silence.
Welcome back to the funkiest show this side of the Pecos. I'm so glad that you guys can be here, and what a show we have for you guys today. Hey, we got a good topic for you: focus and not fear. But before we get started, I always got to give it up to the people that brought me into this world. Yes, let's give it up for Pops and Fat Mama. Coming at you live like we do every single Wednesday. We do it just like this on Word to the Wise podcast with the exclamation point. Who, me? I'm just your friendly neighborhood liaison, your tour guide for this journey that we call life. Man, isn't life lifing? Life is lifing its butt off right now. I look at the news a lot. Because I live in an area where sometimes, man, you got to check the weather. You got to put a sweater in the car or something. And you can get so caught up in foreign affairs that you forget to focus on what's going on right here inside the good old US of A. But I'm not here to talk politics with you. I'm here to talk about emotional intelligence, just having the strength. Do you have the wherewithal to not get involved in that back and forth bickering that happens online? Because if you read every single post, every single sentence, it'll get you in a mindset. It will capture you. And when I say capture you, I'm talking about it will dominate your thought process. It will stop happiness from being able to come in. It will also stop you from being able to achieve your goals because you are concentrating on everything that is horrible, everything that is just despicable. We do have some things that are going on inside the world, and I do not need to break them down in detail. No, I don't. I will say this much. If you have fear that is in your heart, know that there's different levels to it. Because see, some fear can push you to that heightened sense where you want to do something about it. Okay? Have you ever been that afraid? Have you ever been fear-stricken? I'm talking about where fear just has you frozen right there in your tracks. You see, there is an adrenaline that gets pumping. And when you get fear, then all of a sudden there's a thin line between fear and bravery. You ever heard about a person being strong enough to a woman lift the car off her child because the adrenaline and the fear of losing her child was going through, and it was in the side of a moment of catastrophe, and she was able to rock that vehicle and get her child from under there. Have you ever seen someone who was so afraid, but if you got them angry before they can get scared, they were dangerous? See, if you get them scared before they get angry, then man, you got them. I have been in both of those situations. Yes, I once worked for the California Department of Corrections, and I used to have guys tell me, man, I'd love to kill you when I get out. But I had this one person. He attempted to spit on me, and I'm working, and he's an inmate, and he attempted to spit on me, and he missed. But we had a device. We had no weapons or anything out there on the yard. All it was, it looks like a garage door opener. But if I push that, it sounds an alarm, a silent alarm. And boy, those correctional officers, they come flooding out, and they can pinpoint the direction that where I'm standing at when I push that button. And this guy was coming towards me. And he has a couple people pretending to hold him back, but they were really egging him on. Go ahead, do it. And I got another counselor who's about 5 yards away from me. And I pushed my button and nothing happened. Nothing. All right. It's supposed to be a light or something, but I didn't know where they was coming from. So I waited and I waited and I waited. Now he's only a few paces away. Something got to happen. I push it again. I push it a third time, nothing. I tell my peer, hey, push your button. Push your button. And he started acting the dummy. Why? I'm like, push your button and push it. He's like, why would I push my button? Why would I do that? And this guy is coming in. He got these other three, and I know the three of them, they were going to jump me. Finally, I had to shake myself because I was stuck there. And that fear had my heart pounding because I don't know if they had a shank. I don't know if they had a homemade weapon, but I know they knew that if they jumped on staff, boy, you better get your good lick in because, oh man, you're going to have hell to pay. So you just don't jump on and talk about bloody nose. No, you don't. We're talking about 911 and ambulance and urgent care and go straight to the hospital in critical condition. That's what they were trying to put old Cut and Terry in. That's what they were trying to do to me. Fear had me frozen. I shook it off and I got angry. Here's the thing. I wasn't angry at that inmate that was coming to me. I was angry at my daggone coworker. I'm like, man, if somebody ever tell you, save us, don't stand there and ask stupid questions. These are simple instructions, my guy. Push your button. Why? I had to walk over to him, snatch his device off of him, and push it myself. And sure enough, they start coming out. Now, this guy had already squared up with me, and I'm like, they ain't gonna make it before he swing on me. So when you are got those juices flowing and that fear has dissipated and now it is turned into a righteous indignation and you got that anger that is coming and it goes right to your extremities. It'll go right to your legs to where you can flight and you can run away. And sometimes that heart will pump anger and it'll go through your hands. And that's all I had. So I had to put one step back and get into a fighting position and knuckle up. Because I was like, before they get here, one of us gonna have a well-whooped ass. And luckily enough, he finally saw the threat. And he was a big dude, but man, I'm gonna tell you, fear will have you in a stricken state. That's what society is trying to do to us right now. Society has us wanting to be just duck and intimidated. What's the difference between intimidation and fear? You see, I can incite fear on you, but do that mean that I'm intimidated? Yes, I believe that this is the difference. When you believe that that threat is greater than you are, and there is nothing that you can do, then you are intimidated. See, you can be bullied. And the best thing to do with a bully is to not run from them. But that's difficult to tell when the bully is bigger than you. Have you ever been bullied by somebody who was more powerful, who was bigger, who had more influence than you? Then if you have, I'd love to hear from you right here inside the comment section. I would love to hear from you right here on Word to the Wise. Let me know and let the world know, what did you do to stand up to your bully? Because I believe we all have one. Sometimes it's our siblings. Yeah. Sometimes it was either our brother or sister that was the bully. And there have been many abusive relationships. It could have been your mom and your dad. It could have even been one of your uncles or aunts. Who was your bully and how did you stand up to them? See, the world, we have so many different bad pieces and nuggets of news that are coming in every single day right here today. We just celebrated Martin Luther King's birthday, and I consider him one of my heroes. Martin, by the age, I think he was only 33, had done some pretty remarkable things, He graduated college by the time he was only 16 years old, 15, 16. Martin was a highly educated man, but as an orator and as a public speaker, I admire just his cadence. But man, he can be the best speaker in the world, but if he did not have that courage, yeah, it's easy to get up there and speak like I used to inside the prison with a bunch of a captive audience, and guards everywhere. It was easy. I had about 6 peers that are standing around with me. And I also had the power of the law. And that meant I can write a piece of paper and put more time on you if you were to threaten me or have an act of violence. Just with a signature, and you got to do another 30 days. Keep that up and you will do another calendar. It was easy, even though I've seen many people who came and worked beside me who couldn't hack it. They couldn't do it. Because it was a very difficult job. I say easy because it wasn't like Martin Luther King. Man, Martin had death threats. Yes. Bodily harm. Holes put on him. Sick the dog on him. Beat him in the head with a billy club. Lock you up. Throw you in jail. Give you and threaten your women folk. What a coward that is. Martin still will stand up and give his speech and tell them the truth right to the face. He would say it right to the people who needed to hear it the most. And sometimes they would hear him, sometimes they would not. Right to this day, his message is still ringing true. We got to still live by these. Will there be a Martin Luther King birthday next year? Is that a question that we should even have to ask ourselves? Will there be a MLK? Because we are seeing things that have been hard fought and they're walking away. And they want to instill that fear. Where is our focus? What should we as a people, as God-fearing men and women, should be focusing on? Because see, vengeance is not mine. Vengeance is the Lord's. And if you believe in God, let me hear you in the comments section. Let me get an amen or a thumbs up or a subscription. Yes, if you know that the vengeance is the Lord, and those who are doing all this devilment will get their comeuppance with a divine wrath. But what are we going to do? In the meantime, our focus should be on making sure that your family is safe and sound. Making sure that you are, like in my previous podcast, keep your head on the swivel. Yes, look out for each other. And don't just think that we all have to go it alone. That's what a bully wants you to believe, that we are all alone, but we are not. No, we're truly a real community, but we have some that are that they are afraid of what's going to happen. Boy, they are getting angry. If they get angry before they get afraid, powder keg. So the intimidation tactics that are being implemented may not work. Or will they? Will we allow this to be able to be something that will allow us to cower and be able to shrink down like a shrinking violet and put our thumbs in our mouth and in a fetal position? Or will we stand tall on what our ancestors have brought us to and say, we shall not let your death and your blood be in vain? I believe that we, and I'm telling you right here on Word to the Wise podcast, that we as a nation, we are going to have a day of where everybody's just going to have to wake up. How would that day come? I don't know. And in the words of Martin Luther King, I may not get there with you, but the day is going to come, bam, that light bulb pops on, be like, what are we doing this for? We're stronger together. We're better together. We are never, ever going to just rid ourselves of any problems. Problems are always going to happen. And you can always point the finger and say, it's someone else's problem. It's someone else that caused it. Yeah, you can point the finger. But pretty soon, them 4 other fingers, they start pointing right back at you. You got to take a look at yourself, at the man in the mirror. I think our focus should be on community, on unity, and also on safety and making sure that we stand tall in everything that we do. Let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. And oh my goodness, there is no better time, my friends, than to actually study. Don't just let somebody else tell you what your rights are. Study them. If you want to know what a certain document says, what does it say? Read it for yourself. And that includes the Word of God. And it shouldn't be something that is redacted, something that is took out the Word of God, because it should not even be tampered with. Study the Word and show yourself approved. This is that time. We're getting to that time. Oh yeah, if you don't know, somebody else is not. Mama can't help you. Daddy can't get you there. You, no matter who you are, you're going to have to stand up and have knowledge for yourself. But I was always a strong believer that knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Don't you agree with that? That knowledge is power? That if you had some knowledge, that it would make you a better and well-rounded person? But I'm here to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, cousin. Half the information is dangerous. It's dangerous. A person that only know half the story, they'll make that other half up. And guess what? You can keep telling a lie over and over again until it sounds like something that is similar to the truth. See, the best lies, they always have a little sprinkle, a little inkling of the truth inside of it. Makes it more believable. And if you keep letting people just tell you the information and you haven't studied for yourself, that makes you a sponge for misinformation. That is not knowledge. Yes, knowledge is power, only if it's applied. I mean, you could be as smart as a whip, but if you don't use that information, it becomes useless. I'm giving you tools, and I hope you're here to use them. Because I want you to know from my heart of hearts, I do not want you to be afraid. Do not go gentle. Don't go gentle into that good night. Read, my people. And I love the fact that the time has come when we are hearing the difference. You can tell a person who don't know what the hell they talking about even quicker than before. Don't you? Don't you, cousins? Yeah, you can tell you don't know what you're talking about. Or you sound like a minor bird. You sound like an echo, like a broken record. You sound like something that has been repeated and regurgitated. You're just sitting up there regurgitating talking points, and we can hear it. It's called the spirit of discernment. The spirit of discernment. How do you get this spirit of discernment? By prayer, meditation, and studying, fellowshipping with other like-minded people who are of God, people who have courage, who will stand up. See, it ain't all about just punching a bully in the nose and letting you know that you ain't gonna take it. No, you got to stop him from jumping on other people too. Stick up for those who can stick up for themselves. And if you need somebody, well, you can come right here, old Cousin Terry. Come right here. Say, Cousin Terry, I don't know how to deal with this situation. Drop you a comment over there inside of anyone, and you can find me on all these pages on YouTube at The T Patrick. At YouTube, The T Patrick. Or you can find me over there on TikTok at Cat Daddy in the Mix, and over there on Instagram as well. All of these platforms, will they even be around next year? I don't know. But one thing I do know, I'm going to keep swinging like Tarzan. This is what I do. I keep bringing you that realness because you know why? I got to give it to you how you should get it. And I'm talking about the curated truth, the uncut. And I'm here to let you know, focus. Focus on the good things. Focus on the things that you should be focused on and be not of fear. Don't be afraid. And do not go gentle in that good night. And I got your back like vertebrae right over here on Word to the Wise with the exclamation point. Yes, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And my people, they've been through hell and hot water. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be back right here on these same channels wherever you can find these podcasts. Yes. And that's if, God willing and the creek don't rise. I'll be seeing you every single Wednesday until they tell me that I cannot. And even then, I'm going to be standing on the street corner yelling it from the rooftop or the mountaintop, just like Martin did. Peace, love, and hot catfish grease, y'all.
I hope you like the podcast and you really like the podcast.
Come on, be serious.
And you really like my podcast.